Jealousy is an intricate and often misunderstood emotion that many people will experience at some point in their lives. It's something we don't always talk about openly, perhaps because it's so commonly seen as a negative feeling. But jealousy is more complex than simply being bad or wrong. It can arise from various underlying fears and anxieties, such as the fear of losing someone important in our lives, or the fear of not being enough. While jealousy is frequently viewed with a sense of shame or guilt, it's actually a natural part of our emotional spectrum. It's embedded in our biology, helping us protect what we care about most. However, when jealousy is left unchecked or handled poorly, it can turn into something much more destructive. It can damage relationships, erode trust, and leave us feeling vulnerable. So, understanding why we feel jealous and how we can cope with it in a healthy way is key to maintaining emotional balance in our relationships. Take a moment to think about the last time you experienced jealousy. Was there something specific that triggered it? Was it related to a feeling of insecurity or a fear of losing someone important to you? Pause and reflect on how that jealousy made you feel. Was it fleeting, or did it linger? Did it affect how you interacted with the person involved, or did you manage to address it in a healthy way? Jealousy has deep roots that go beyond just personal experiences. Looking at it from an evolutionary perspective helps us understand why it exists in the first place. From an evolutionary standpoint, jealousy likely developed as a survival mechanism. In ancient times, humans had to form stable partnerships in order to survive. For women, in particular, having a dependable partner was crucial for obtaining protection and resources, such as food and shelter. If a partner was lost, whether through death, abandonment, or infidelity, it could lead to a loss of resources and greater risks to one's well-being. Because of this, jealousy may have evolved as a way to protect vital bonds, ensuring that those who mattered most stayed close and committed. While the dangers we face today are no longer physical in the same way, we still have emotional triggers that mimic these primal concerns. We might not worry about survival in the same way as our ancestors did, but we do worry about losing emotional support, intimacy, or security in our relationships. Think about that. Have you ever felt jealousy when someone you care about grew closer to another person, perhaps a friend or colleague? That feeling of fear or discomfort can sometimes be connected to a deeper sense of wanting to protect the emotional connection you share with them. It's less about ownership and more about a natural, albeit sometimes uncomfortable, desire to preserve what feels important. Another common cause of jealousy is rooted in personal insecurities. When we feel uncertain about our self-worth or question whether we're meeting the expectations of those around us, jealousy can arise. It's particularly intense when we suspect that a partner may be interested in someone else, even if that interest is only imagined. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. Think about a time when you felt jealous due to insecurities. Were there underlying feelings of not being good enough, or a fear that someone else might be more appealing? It's important to recognize that these feelings come from a place of self-doubt, not necessarily from anything your partner has done. Understanding that can help you separate your own insecurities from the actual dynamics in the relationship. For example, let's say your partner starts spending more time with an old friend, someone of the opposite sex. If you've struggled with low self-esteem or past rejections, you might interpret these innocent interactions as a threat to your bond with them. But it's important to ask yourself, are these feelings truly about the situation at hand, or are they rooted in something deeper, like past experiences or unresolved fears? The way we experience jealousy is also influenced by our attachment style. The way we bond with others, shaped by our early relationships, especially with our caregivers. Our attachment style can significantly affect how we perceive jealousy and how we respond to it in romantic relationships. People with an anxious attachment style often experience stronger feelings of jealousy because they fear abandonment and rejection. This constant anxiety can make jealousy feel almost like a constant companion in their relationships. For these individuals, even small signs of potential distance, like a partner spending time with someone else, can trigger a heightened emotional response. On the other hand, individuals with an avoidant attachment style tend to suppress or ignore their jealous feelings. They may feel uncomfortable with vulnerability, so they avoid acknowledging the jealousy they feel. Instead of confronting their emotions, they may retreat emotionally or physically, sometimes putting up walls that make it hard for their partner to understand their true feelings. People with a secure attachment style tend to have a healthier relationship with jealousy. While they may feel jealous at times, they're usually able to communicate their feelings in a calm, productive way. They feel more confident in their relationships, trusting that their partner values them and is committed to them. If jealousy arises, they're able to address it without letting it overwhelm or control them. Take a moment now to reflect. How do you think your attachment style impacts the way you experience jealousy in your relationships? Do you tend to get anxious, suppress your feelings, or address them openly? Understanding your attachment style can give you valuable insights into why you might feel jealous and how you can handle it in a more constructive way. Another significant influence on jealousy is culture. Different societies and cultures have different ways of understanding and responding to jealousy. In some cultures, jealousy may be seen as a sign of love or passion, an indication that a person truly cares about their partner. In other cultures, however, jealousy might be viewed as possessiveness or a warning sign of an unhealthy, controlling relationship. Think about how jealousy is portrayed in the media. Movies and TV shows often romanticize jealousy, making it seem like an unavoidable part of love and attraction. These depictions can lead us to believe that jealousy is an essential ingredient for deep emotional connection, or that it's a way to demonstrate how much we care. But in reality, jealousy can have a negative impact when it goes unchecked, causing tension and mistrust. In some cultures, jealousy is seen as a protective instinct, a way to safeguard important relationships. In others, it may be perceived as an indication of insecurity or emotional instability. Reflecting on how different cultures interpret jealousy can help us see how our own upbringing and societal influences shape the way we respond to this emotion. Take a moment. Have you ever noticed how jealousy is portrayed in films or TV shows? How might those portrayals have influenced how you view jealousy in your own life? Have you also noticed how jealousy is perceived differently depending on where you're from or who you're talking to? When it comes to jealousy, men and women often experience and react to it in different ways. Research suggests that women are generally more affected by emotional infidelity, while men tend to feel more upset by physical infidelity. Emotional betrayal can feel more threatening to women because it undermines the emotional intimacy and connection that sustains a relationship. For many women, emotional closeness is a key component of a strong, trusting bond. For men, the idea of physical infidelity might be more concerning because it represents a direct threat to the physical bond or attraction in the relationship. However, there's no universal truth when it comes to how jealousy plays out between genders. It's influenced by individual personality, past experiences, and emotional needs. Social influences also play a significant role in shaping how men and women experience jealousy. Women, for example, may feel more pressure to compare themselves to others, especially when it comes to physical appearance, which can make them more prone to jealousy if their partner shows interest in someone else. On the other hand, men may experience jealousy in response to the fear of losing status or control in a relationship. Pause and think. Do you think men or women are more likely to compare themselves to others in relationships? What do you think might contribute to that dynamic? Reflecting on these patterns can help us understand the broader social factors at play in how we experience jealousy. Managing jealousy in a healthy way requires self-awareness and intentional effort. The first step is to explore where your jealousy comes from. Are you feeling jealous because of a genuine threat to your relationship, or is it more about your own insecurities or past experiences? Understanding the source of your jealousy is crucial to addressing it constructively. Think about a time when you experienced jealousy. Were there fears of being abandoned, not being good enough, or perhaps feeling replaced? Acknowledging these deeper feelings can help you see jealousy for what it is, an emotion that signals underlying concerns that need attention. Another important tool in managing jealousy is honest communication. Instead of letting jealousy fester or blaming your partner, it's essential to express your feelings openly and respectfully. For example, instead of saying, "You're making me jealous," you might say, "I feel insecure when you spend a lot of time with someone else." This simple shift in language fosters understanding and keeps the conversation focused on your emotions, not accusations. Take a moment. Have you ever tried communicating your feelings of jealousy in this way? How might it change the way you handle jealousy in the future? Building your self-esteem outside of your relationship is another key factor in managing jealousy. When we feel good about ourselves, when we pursue personal passions, set goals, and surround ourselves with supportive friends and family, we become less likely to feel threatened by external factors. Strong self-esteem helps us approach jealousy with a sense of security, knowing that our worth isn't tied to the actions of others. What are some things you do to boost your self-esteem? How do you make sure to nurture yourself as an individual, outside of the relationship? Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. If jealousy arises, take a moment to evaluate whether it's signaling a trust issue or whether it's rooted in your own fears. Practicing mindfulness, such as deep breathing or focusing on the present moment, can help you regulate your emotions and make more rational decisions when you feel jealousy creeping in. What techniques do you use to manage your emotions when jealousy arises? Is there a specific practice that helps you stay grounded in the moment? Setting clear and healthy boundaries is another powerful way to prevent jealousy from escalating. By discussing what behaviors are acceptable and what might make either of you uncomfortable, you create a framework that both partners can respect. When both people understand each other's boundaries, it reduces misunderstandings and creates a sense of security. What boundaries do you think are important in relationships to help prevent jealousy from becoming a problem? How can you communicate these boundaries in a way that fosters understanding and respect? Finally, if jealousy becomes overwhelming or starts harming the relationship, it may be time to seek professional help. A therapist can assist in uncovering deeper emotional issues and guide both partners toward healthier coping mechanisms. Have you or anyone you know ever sought therapy for relationship issues related to jealousy? What was that experience like? How did it help you manage or understand jealousy better? In closing, we've explored how jealousy can be influenced by evolutionary instincts, cultural perspectives, attachment styles, and personal insecurities. We've also discussed practical strategies for managing jealousy, such as self-reflection, clear communication, and building trust. As we finish today, think about one key takeaway from our discussion. What's one new approach or insight you'd like to apply in your relationships moving forward? How can you manage jealousy in a way that enhances emotional connections and strengthens trust? Thanks for watching.